videos on the television ain't what we about. Specifically appointed to represent real hip hop and keep it alive. Physically adjoined with the game until we die. Certified organic base for the industry's overly acidic lies. Genetic makeup full of resentment, too much to release it all in one try. And if this is just too much or not enough to leave you, grab a cup, fill it up, take a puff, till next time to be continued. In the allotted time, taking drastic measures for these drastic times. Could this be some kind of a sign? Musical massage for the mind. In the allotted time, taking drastic measures for these drastic times. Could this be some kind of a sign? Musical massage for the mind.
A lot of talk with tenacious, tearing gritty performance trenches dug subterraneanly. Beats give the word substance, and passing it permeates in the ears persistently. About puffy patter as you be rolling in constantly. That guzzle more than gas, I'm gonna find at your ass. Greatly reducing the size of your soul with the guts you spill. Giving out to the people that listen, that threshold filled. Not nutritionally though, never nurturing the needed in the end. You got the left to die, hurting and bleeding. But some of us survive, soaring higher than the skies. The sucker searching for the next supersized SUV to drive the crowds crazy while we search, not looting like Indiana Jones. We search for superior subjects on a microphone.
In the allotted time, taking drastic measures for these drastic times. Could this be some kind of a sign? Musical massage.
Oh yeah.
In the allotted time.
Oh yeah. Esta es el Blue Demon de la lucha libre. Y estoy en vivo. En el próximo vez es el hombre Sam DJ Lumberjack. Aplauso, aplauso. Aplauso, aplauso. Woo! Did you know it was really me? Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? All right, if you like that track, ooh yeah, that's some of my older work. So hope you're enjoying that. That one's called Musical Massage. We did that one back in about I want to say like 2003, 2004. I made that beat on an Electribe ES1, which is a fun little thing. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I want everyone out there to say hi. If you're watching, put a comment in the comment section. Say hi. Hope everyone's doing well. As you can see, if you saw my post earlier, I said I alluded to the fact I might be doing it naked. No, but it's a nice sunny day. I don't need to wear formal clothes. Check out the dad bod, huh? What do you think? Okay, we got some great stuff for the show today. So I'm just going to do a quick sound check, make sure. Yeah, we're sounding good. So I'm going to get back to my control screen here on OBS. And if you don't know OBS, it's a great multi-camera, multi-source, multi-source program where you can, I'm just going to adjust this just a little bit. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm looking so nice. Oh, there we go. Got to get the hair all nice. See, it got a little messed up with the... All right, so got some notes here. Let me tell you what I got going on today. First of all, as always, we always start off the show by shouting out our essential workers. So we want to make sure to shout them out. Now, essential workers are, of course, the first responders and the likes of that, hospital workers, doctors, nurses, everything like that, but also delivery workers, people that are in the food industry or service industry that can't take a day off. We want to make sure to definitely shout those folks out. So essential workers, people that are working now under this climate, even though everyone's supposed to shelter in place, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate all your hard work. And that's basically how we start off the show. If you're just new to the show, you don't really know what this is about, it's a daily vlog put on by me, Sam, DJ Lumberjack, and we go through some daily topics that I've been thinking about. We talk a little bit about what Viral Media Network does. We talk about some cool things and cool opportunities to do in the midst of this. We start a new segment today. We're going to talk about recipes every day, good recipes to do while you're here stuck in shelter, shelter in place. Now, you're not stuck, okay? I want to get off this point of being stuck, and this is one of the topics we'll talk about later, but basically, shelter in place is a great opportunity for you to nourish your dwelling and, you know, read that book you've always been reading, make those wonderful dishes that you've always wanted to make. This right here, you might recognize this guy as Seth Mayers, but I want to share, because notice how my shot is, okay? See that, you know, and this is the 12th episode, okay? This is episode 12, so we're going on, whoops, didn't mean to do that. That's what I meant to do. Episode 12, woo! This is the third week, okay? So we want to, but we've had this shot for the whole time. Now, here, I'll just cut to it right now just so you guys can see. Seth Mayers, he stole my shot, okay? Check this out. Let's see if you guys agree. All right, look at that angle, right? See that right there? Do you see that? Do you see that? Okay. Look, ready? Whoops. Do you see that? Do you see that? Folks, do you see that? Do you see that? Okay? Do you see that similarity? All right. I've been doing this show in this attic. I haven't been doing the show longer than Seth Mayers, okay? I'm not claiming that at all. I'm just saying this shot was set up before Seth Mayers. Has Seth Mayers seen this show and he wants to look like me? I'm sure it is, okay? But I'm kind of joking in my getup. Of course, I love wrestling, so I had to do that Blue Demon Mask opening. Yeah, I had to showcase the guns. But it's also like, we don't have to be formal. We don't always have to wear a button-down shirt. I never really do anyways. But, you know, it's a nice day. I got out of the shower. I was feeling fresh. I usually just put on an undershirt like this and then a shirt. But I figured since I was going to do the opening like that, why not just keep... Oof. And speaking of which, whether you're strong or you just want to stay healthy, during this time at home, we want to make sure to keep with our regiment. I talked a little bit before about resistance bands. These are good ways to work out. There's all sorts of exercises you can do. There's some that are actual rubber bands that loop around and some that are separated. Those are good as well. You know, continue to wash your hands regularly. My hands always get dry, so I'm always adding Solve. So adding lotion and Solve to keep your skin moisturized with all this washing is helpful. You know, cross off all those activities and chores you've been meaning to do. We really have been meaning to transition our chicken coop into more space and all this kind of stuff. So we're finally getting to that. We're doing all this stuff in the garden that we've been wanting to do, planting all the seeds. Of course, it's springtime, but this is another great opportunity to do that. Speaking of which, we're in the shelter in place. Ordinance, and it looks like it's going to go through, I guess May. You know, end of April. I know that's kind of been the new norm. So we're gonna try and see how we can figure that out. But just continue with all these things that you want to do and you want to be creative. And you know, maybe it's not working for someone else and getting paid for someone else. And that's a lot what this vlog is about. We talked yesterday a lot about the financial independence movement. I'm going to show those websites again today because I think it's really important. I need to do research on it as well, but you know, I need to do my own you know, what am I trying to say here? I need to read what I'm practicing more often than just telling other people to do it. No, I already talked about essential workers. Yeah, so this is the next topic I have for the opening thoughts is, you know, we didn't want to freak out by, you know, hoarding a lot of stuff. I talk a lot about it on this show, hoarding and, you know, just stocking up is good, getting bulk stuff, but not hoarding to the point where like other people don't have supplies. But I've been shopping 3 times at 3 different stores, getting different things over the course of 2 weeks. You know, the last 2 weeks. This week we were able, you know, we had a lot of stuff, and then we need to get, kind of fill in the gaps. And the first place we went was just kind of last minute when the shelter in place was first put in place by Gavin Newsom. Although we had sort of stocked up before then, and then we went one more time. Long story short is we really appreciate fresh vegetables and fresh groceries. There are certain bulk things that we can do, and things that will help or keep longer. But if you want fresh lettuce, fresh onions, fresh vegetables, fresh meats, fresh dairy, if you will, I mean, I know you have to do some transitioning, some sacrificing. Maybe we can't all do fresh, but I think it helps us in this time to enable for us to be healthy, to get all this fresh stuff. So is going once a week too often? Is it better to go twice a week? Curious to know your thoughts there. So put in the comment section or drop me a line. Let me know. I'm wondering if I should take my cell phone and go live on Viral Media Network. Why not? I got a message there. I'm not going to respond now because I'm live. So we got a new segment about, speaking of fresh groceries, today, new segment, two parts. One is, I mentioned this before, but doing recipe suggestions. And today's recipe is going to be a pesto that I love to make, especially if you love garlic. So watch out there. And then the other segment in going with, recommendations. I was listening to Otis Redding sings Soul. So that's going to be my recommendation today. But basically, I've been recommending podcasts, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, and books. Why not recommend a record now if you want to get it from, if you want to get it from a digital source or whatever. I love records, so there you go. Anyway, so fresh groceries. How often is it okay to get them in this shelter in place? I know we're not supposed to go out a lot, but is it something that we can do sparingly once a week? Should it be more like twice a week? Let me know. The next thing I wanted to talk about is using this opportunity, as I alluded to before in the open. Oh, sorry. Let's first get an update on the quarantine versus distancing. I talked about this yesterday. 2 shows ago on Tuesday, I talked about, because we're not in quarantine, it's okay to go out to the beach. It's okay to go hiking, just as long as you're not crowding or you're not, you're keeping your distance from other people. It seems like that's going to be very, very limited now. So we want to make sure to keep that ordinance in place. Notice I have 2 headphones. So one is to check the overall feed and to use this as a microphone. The other one is to use for the Serato controller. And if I actually had, my full gear, I would probably, have the over-the-ear headphones and a microphone. But again, the point of this is to just kind of do more bare bones stuff. So that's going to be my next thing. Let me know if you like this view with the, you can see hopefully some of the controls here, and if that's something that's cool or not, you let me know. I can even back this up a little bit. Maybe you can get all of it. That's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay, let me move on. So quarantine versus distancing, I think we really do need to limit going out, but as I said in the last topic of the day is like, we having fresh lettuce, all this kind of stuff is important. I guess it goes back to more about, how we've been planting our garden and doing all that and laying the groundwork for being able to be completely sustainable at the house. So those are projects that we think about when we think about, okay, well, I'm at home. What can I do to improve my situation, to stay busy, to stay active? And you're building, you're nurturing your dwelling, you're nurturing your house and your family. So that's important. And the final topic of the day before we move on is using as I to kind of dovetail off of that. I want to talk about this article that is. Oh wait, no. No, I guess I put it I put it in the good deed of the day. So basically, what that is let's go to that article right here. Her name is Lee Edelcourt, and basically she's saying that this is a great opportunity to start new beginnings. So here it is right here. It's on Dezeen.com. And here she is. She's a trend forecaster. I'm not sure what that means, but basically the virus was causing a quarantine of consumption. That would have profound cultural and economic impact. People would have to get used to living with fewer possessions and traveling less. So I guess I just answered my own question when I said, how often should we be going grocery shopping? But again, I still believe that getting fresh ingredients and fresh vegetables and meats and dairies for your house in order to cook good food is important for your health. But on a global scale, she's talking. This virus is disrupting global supply chains and transportation networks. We are massively entertaining a quarantine of consumption where we will learn how to be happy just with a simple dress, rediscovering old favorites we own, reading a forgotten book, and cooking up a storm to make life beautiful. So that kind of sums up what I'm talking about on my vlog. But this is a great article. The link is in the description. I'm not going to go too much into this, but also environmentally, right? It says right here, the recent pictures of the air above China and also here in the San Francisco Bay Area in general across the world, pollution has gone down because everyone's been sheltering in place and people have been working less. So, I mean, that's awesome, right? Like, that has to be good. And then also, as we're talking about financial independence and not being tied to the economy all the time by making your own, making your own income, growing your own food, building your own stuff. So when things like this happen, you're not as affected. So thanks again to Joel Madsen, who watches the show, and he suggested this article. And I alluded to it before, but I hadn't really talked too much about it, and I wanted to give a specific example of that and show that online. So again, I'm Sam DJ Lumberjack. I'm the executive producer of Viral Media Network. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And yes, this is the vlog, episode 12. Woo! Like, subscribe, share. The Viral Media Network, here's how you can follow us. You can follow us on Instagram at viralmedia.network. You can like us on Facebook, all three words, Viral Media Network. And our website is viralmedianetwork.com. So, and it's all right there. So check it out. And of course, if you're watching here, the channel is Viral Media Network 415. Viral Media Network tomorrow is coming out with their newest episode of the podcast, the Sam Jack podcast. That's me. Subtitled, I'm not a professional, but wait, I am. Hence, me doing the show here in my undershirt. Anyways, I say that because being a freelancer or being any sort of creative professional, you're really creating your own path. And sometimes it's like feast or famine, they say. When it rains, it pours. You're either working a lot or you're not working at all. And then sometimes the days you are at home, you're like, am I really worthy? Why aren't I getting a call? When sometimes you're working back to back in 15 days straight. And, so anyways, it's a discussion with people that are in that same field. Have been able to be creative, have been able to be successful, the trials and tribulations, what makes them tick, that sort of thing. And tomorrow's episode, as I showed the open yesterday, will be the guest will be Rob Reddy. He's the artistic director of Piano Fight. So shout out to him. I will send the link. Basically, all you have to do is search iTunes, and search iTunes, and if you listen on Spotify, if you listen on oh, I forgot to get rid of that. You saw that. But anyways, it's all good. Yeah, the Sam Jack Podcast. It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts, Spreaker. Check it out. The video version will be here on our YouTube channel, Viral Media Network 4 and 5. So make sure to check that out for sure. And I'm just going to bring that up real quick so you know how to see it. Boom, 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 boom. YouTube VMN, that's where I'm talking about. Boom. Yeah, there it is. Viral Media Network 4 and 5, and you're watching that here. So, but in case you happen to see this video somewhere else, there it is. So, yeah, again, getting back to opportunities to rediscover why we love our house or why we have the things in our house instead of just collecting dust. What are they there for? Listening to old CDs, and then thinking about other systems. That's where I want to lead back to ChooseFi. So ChooseFi is this choose financial independence is FI. That's what FI stands for. But this is a beginner's guide to financial independence. So it's kind of like a step-by-step, a quick summary. The goal of financial is to save 25 times your annual expenses. It is thought that once you have this amount saved, you can begin withdrawing enough from your investment accounts to cover all your expenses. At this point, you'd be considered financially independent and no longer need to work for money. Your time is your own. So basically, the idea of not working till you're 65 and retiring, working so much, and saving enough that's possible. So here's how to calculate your own savings rate. Right? There's the 4% rule of thumb. 25% times expenses. Why? Where did this number come from? It was largely based on a 1998 study called the Trinity Study that looked at what percentage of investments a retiree could reliably draw throughout all investment timelines without running out of money. The study concluded that 4% was a safe withdrawal rate with a 95% rated plus rate of success. So that means you're pulling 4% out annually. I think that's on an annual basis. Of if 100% is 100% of your retirement, you're pulling out 4%. So it goes deeper than that. Beyond 4%, the argument for flexible spending rules in retirement. So these guys are really the definitive, but also Mr. Money Mustache, which I talked about yesterday. But here's an article again to Joel. Joel gave me all these links, by the way. He's the man. He should really just be a contributing editor on the show. But basically, pizza delivery is for millionaires, and I think it's basically about making pizza. French toast breakfast. So he's talking about stage 2 is our big walk downtown. Got it all done. Little M&M goes. So this is talking about even with all the excess money building up over the years, it didn't even occur to me to order a pizza. It's just automatic, and thus faster and cheaper, healthier to make my own. So yeah, it's about making your own pizza, but he's also talking about, he describes this whole day he has with his son, going around town, not spending a dime. So I recommend this. This link is in the description as well. So, and then this is $2 Eats, which is another website. It's basically how the goal of this website is to provide recipes, meal plans, and other resources to help you cut your food expenses while still eating healthy, delicious meals. Our main goal is to have an average cost of $2 per person per meal, and this averages just to about $42 a week and $168 per month. So another cost-saving way, but also eating healthy and eating right, eating fresh. So check this out. I know we'll talk a little bit more about imperfect fruit, or sorry, imperfect produce, which is something along these lines, and it's basically a system, a farm system that sends you all the produce that they get that's not necessarily the best shaped, and even in the most natural of settings and natural grocery stores, they still like things to look pretty. So these are things that are oblong shaped and look a little weird. But I digress there. Next, we want to highlight a video that Viral Media Network has done. And this was done a while for Charles Blade Barber Spa. And what we did, this was a campaign to do a monthly grooming tip. So this is a video that we did, and you can see it pop up here on the screen. Let me do it full screen here. So check them out, charlesbladebarberspa.com. This is one of the videos we did for them. We'll visit their website here in a sec. So we made this motion graphics title for them.
Charles Blades, from Charles Blades Barber Spa, doing the tip of the month today. We're doing the natural edge up. Start at the tip, at the front of the head, start at the center, and do a soft edge up in the front. Then after that, start with the side. Now this is the tricky part. Start with the side of the head, but make sure it's even up with the actual eyebrow. I notice that people line the edge up too far back, so always keep it with the natural tip of the actual eyebrow. And that's the tip of the month.
So yeah, that's a nice short video we did for them. And then if you want to check out their website, where did I put his website? There he is right here, charlesbladebarberspa.com. Whoops, going back there. charlesbladebarberspa.com. The link is in the description again. Definitely make sure to check them out. They're great. And again, follow us on YouTube, Viral Media Network 415. And so that's our highlight of the day for Viral Media Network. What do we want to talk about next? We want to talk about... Oh, we talked about that. We talked about... I'm just going over my notes here first. All right. So yeah, appreciating the small stuff, a new beginning, new hobbies, that kind of thing. That's what the article was talking about. But next, I want to shout out a couple folks. They did another virtual open mic last night. Here she is, Miss Ryan Nicole. She's great. She's an actress. She calls herself a quadruple threat. She's a Grammy-nominated quadruple threat. She's an actress. She's a singer. She's an athlete and an activist. Artist, actress, athlete, activist. And here's her page. You can check it out. I believe it's just MissRyanNicole.com. Let me double check that. Yes, MissRyanNicole.com. And where did she go? There we go. You can read more about her and check her out. So she's part of the Alphabet Rockers. They were nominated for a Grammy just recently. She's an MC and a poet. And she's performed on Team Backpack. And also, she organized this with DJ Champagne. And here's her Instagram, Hey DJ Champagne. So check them out. What they did, well, that is, what happened there? There shouldn't be two graphics like that. Oh, I think I know what happened. There we go. but I want to take that off and put that on and put that on and put that on. Nope. There we go. So what they did is they put on a virtual open mic, and they organized it through Zoom. They got it on a Google Google spreadsheet to sign up for. And I didn't participate last night. I participated, I think, a few weeks ago, and it was just a ton of fun. So shout out to them for putting that on, because performers, artists, they can't perform in normal places now. They have to do it on all these digital platforms. Speaking of which, a lot of people talk about how artists shouldn't get handouts, and artists, are just, doing things for fun, don't work that hard. Well, everyone is turning to artists now to keep themselves entertained during the shelter-in-place moment. So think about that. I know a lot of people have brought that up. So I wanted to shout them out. Now let's talk recommendations. First, I talked a little bit about AEW before, but I forgot to mention, and how silly of me, I said Matt Hardy returned, but guess what? So did Jake the Snake Roberts. If you want to see Jake the Snake Roberts in wrestling, here he is in AEW. He's not wrestling per se. Oh, listen to him. So you get the idea. So that's another advantage to check out AEW over WWF. Everyone loves WWF. You can't go wrong. There's still some great stuff going on in WWE. Sorry, not WWF, but you get the idea. The other one I wanted to, and it also bleeds over into podcasts, is Talib Kweli has a podcast, The People's Party with Talib Kweli. Talib Kweli. Excuse me. Talib Kweli. So here he is interviewing Anthony Anderson. This is a great episode. So I like it too because it's a video podcast. It's kind of like what I'm trying to do with my podcast. You'll see that tomorrow with Rob Reddy. Of course, I did it digitally, but here he is. He has him in the studio. It's kind of like a radio interview, but long term, like a podcast. You know what I mean? So, and he asked good questions. He had John Forte on a while back. Here he is with Ice Cube. He's got The Game on here. All this kind of stuff. So I really recommend The People's Party with Talib Kweli. Let me throw those up here real quick. And Jasmine is the so Jake the Snake returns, as I mentioned. Let's go back to that real quick. Jake the Snake returns. Here we go. How about we do this? Jake the Snake returns. There's the graphic for it. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And also The People's Party with Talib Kweli. And that's on Uproxx Video. So it's really great. He just has these really good interviews with folks, and it's a fun one to watch. So I really recommend that. Do I have other ones? I think that's it for now. Now, like I mentioned, I didn't go over the recipe of the day. Now, the recipe of the day is making a fresh pesto. I love making pesto. Pesto is a great thing. It's fresh. It's raw. It's for the most part vegetarian, except for cheese. It's most part vegan. It's definitely vegetarian. But Sorry, we're still on the YouTube. Let me get back to my screen so you can see my beautiful face. Hi. It's definitely vegetarian. It's not vegan because it has cheese, but if you're vegan, I'm sure you probably have a good way of substituting cheese. And once again, I am Sam DJ Lumberjack, executive producer of Viral Media Network. But basically, fresh basil. You want about a bunch. You want like one bunch of fresh basil. You can substitute parsley or any sort of leafy herb like that. Cilantro works great. You want about a cup or two of olive oil, and you're gonna add olive oil as you go. So it sort of varies depending on how you like it. You want about a cup or 2 cups of maybe a cup and a half of nuts. A lot of people traditionally use pine nuts. I use walnuts. About a small block, about this size, I would say 8 ounces of Asiago cheese. You can use Romano or Parmesan. What else? And garlic, of course. So that's all it is. It's garlic, basil, olive oil, nuts, and cheese. And you put it all in a blender. And basil might not be in season at the time. I think you might be able to get basil. Another good reason to grow it. But again, you can use parsley or cilantro. You want about a bulb of garlic. You can do 5 to 6 cloves if you don't like it as garlicky. But I love the garlic in there. And if you really are up for it, you can put some ginger in there too, because those are 2 things that really help boost the immune system. And so we want to be eating a lot of that stuff right now. So that's the recipe of the day. And the recipe written out is in the description. So it's pretty simple. Let me know how that turns out for you. Another new segment of the day is we've been recommending podcasts and YouTube channels, and we're going to recommend a book here in a minute. But we also recommend albums. This is the new segment. And so this is the album recommendation of the day. Otis Blue, Otis Redding Sings Soul. Now, the reason I wanted to recommend this, and a lot of people are recommending newer stuff or playlists on Spotify, but there's nothing like physical media, especially in a time like this where you can go out, you can read the liner notes. But specifically this album, a lot of people have this as a staple in their library. Maybe you don't, but what's so great about this album is it not only has vintage Otis Redding songs, but let's say the song Respect by Aretha Franklin. He's got his version on here. Change Gonna Come. A lot of people know the Sam Cooke version. His version, I might say it's a little better. I'm sorry. That's just my thing. But, sorry, checking the stream there. Excuse me. I've Been Loving You Too Long, of course we know. My Girl, that's a Smokey Robinson song, right? But you gotta listen to Otis sing it, all right? Satisfaction, right? That's another one that's like, oh, we all know the Rolling Stones version. But, dude, let me tell you, the Otis Redding version is just so good. And You Don't Miss Your Water to Your Well One. You Don't Miss Your Water. That's a classic standard. And, of course, Peter Tosh and stuff. So check this out. I'm sure you can get this on Amazon. Digital copy, a digital version of that, sure. I love it on record because there's nothing like it. We're almost ready to wrap up, and the last recommendation is, drum roll please, Buddha for Beginners. And this is, what's the guy's name? It's by Stephen T. Asma. And it's one of those books that's like, it's got a lot of pictures, and it's very easy. It's literally for beginners. It's kind of like the series, for dummies. Buddhism for Dummies, auto mechanic for dummies or whatever. But this specifically has these really cool drawings. And I was like reading this book, and I'm like, wait, this looks familiar. I had one of these books of this series, but for Marshall McLuhan, The Media is the Message, which is a book that we had to read in media school. But this is a great book. My wife and I went to Thailand for our honeymoon, and I need to do that while I'm doing that so I don't look like, so it's a lot smoother. Let's do that. Boom. And Buddhism is everywhere there. We visited lots of temples, we meditated in there, and of course I haven't done it completely, but I'm not necessarily converting to Buddhism, but I really want to learn a lot about it, and this is a good palatable way of doing it. Again, read it in chunks, having illustrated versions, and kind of like, a Western approach to doing it with cartoons and things like that. And also using some, Western sort of identities to, this is Shirley and then Genghis. I'm not sure how they're related offhand, but, it's just kind of funny, kooky illustrations. So that's pretty much the show. Again, tomorrow, we're going to be live again tomorrow. It'll be Friday the 13th episode. Not Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th episode. But it's still a milestone because we'll cap off the 3rd week of this vlog we've been doing live. The first week we started Wednesday, but it's still, as far as weeks are going, we'll be off Saturday, Sunday. We're going to come back live Monday for episode 14. But tomorrow we'll show a little snippet of the podcast. That'll be released tomorrow. We'll have more tips and tricks. We'll have another recipe. We'll have more recommendations. We thank you so much for watching. And we appreciate everything that you do. If you're staying at home, you're helping flatten the curve. If you are a first responder or essential worker at a grocery store, or delivery driver or whatever it might be, we want to thank you so much. And here's another. This the Bay, homie, when we make that skrill. This is another one of our tracks we made. This one's talk about the Bay. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Casting the silky spider web of a superior verbal proclamation, I represent a very unique part of the nation. It started before all y'all were off the heezy, dizzle, dope, sizzle, believe me. Casting around the bay, not to mention, hey, E40, Rapid Forte, Mac Mall, and Sally. They're the forefathers who left a sticky trail for all y'all snails to fuck her up and suck. Parasitically chumping the real MCs, grabbing their vitality and strength while you use it for your own demise and start to rise, but not on your own. Some flavor the Bay claimed 8 years ago. While the original substance and roots of the style won't come out for a while, cause LA casts such a big spotlight. It done casts a shadow and the rest of the state is dark as night. Best hang at the gallows, let the carcass sway. A reminder to act kinder to the ones who influence your decisions and the ones who paved the foundation. Cause the baby's spreading and letting the world know of our necessity to be getting our mark, a notch on the pole, standing up, a long story told. But the best part of the Bay, I say, is explosion of scenes sprouting. The Sanheezy comes shouting, low riding, flipping up, 880 between there and the side shows. Don't drive shady, cause the Rice Rocket races at 2 a.m. Will leave your lady riding shotgun just for fun. Get into the pink slip if you get to San Leandro before the MRX gets there first, bro. Cross the Bay around word to the hay, end up in San Mateo. Oh, the peninsula's poppin'. Cross the skyline to HMBZ Route 1, Pacific Coast Highway. Maybe cruise up to Frisco on 280. In Frisco, it's over. There's 10 different scenes. The raves, the clubs, the breaks, the streets, you know what I mean? Then go across the bridge to Oaktown, Berserk, Richmond and Vallejo, maybe out east to Walnut Creek and San Ramon. It will take a lifetime to check them all out, and that's why I live here. It's what it's all about.
This the Bay, homie, when we make that skrill. 20-inch wheels, just a shake and peel. Won't hesitate to bust, cause we taking over. Box Chevs and laps, nigga, fuck a Range Rover. This the Bay, homie, when we make that skrill. 20-inch wheels, just a shake and peel. Won't hesitate to bust, cause we taking over. Box Chevs and laps, nigga, fuck a Range Rover. Y'all know by now how the Bay get down. From the O to the B, Frisco and Sacktown. The gangster, the robber, the Mac and the fiend. I do whatever it takes just to stack that cream. I'm a villain, just chillin'. Mac Millen, the track ripping, back flipping, my rap spin. Better keep that lack spinning. Nope, it's no throwbacks. Toe to toe, toe gack. Scope the most cognac, flow the most cold rap. For show, dog, you know that. Know where the hoes at. All on the bow sack. Yo, where the smoking on my nigga? See, got it. Light it up then, nigga. Blunt raps and Philly ash about 10 more. Switching sideways at the light, bro. Straight toward the sideshow. My flows, I spin nitro. Pyros, what I write. The smokes on the side, looking dope when I rise. Hit the smoke to get by. Niggas know this is fly. Y'all ghost you guys. Don't close your eyes. My potion is wise. This is no surprise, bitch. This the Bay, homie, when we make that skrill. 20-inch wheels, just a shake and peel. Won't hesitate to bust, cause we taking over. Box Chevs and lax, nigga, fuck a Range Rover.
It's a new era, a new time. Ain't trying to scare you, but this is all real life. Punctuating, push over yellow belly MC. Spotting suspect pansies is always my steez. Internal glow from this TAC feel weed makes me realize this is all routine. It's all about the Bay, know what I mean? Conquer, San Ho, Oakland, or Frisco, it's all a different scene. And all the other cities outskirting and in between play their part in this melting pot. Originating, trailblazing for what's new and hot. It's that Bay shit that taught everybody how to get their collar and make it pop. And I don't think it's gonna stop there. They made it a player's holiday everywhere. So if it's just getting too hot up in her, then sprinkle me, but who cares? Cause false representation got this Bay slang up in the industry, it ain't fair. This the Bay, homie, where we make that skrill. 20-inch wheels, just a shake and peel. Won't hesitate to bust, cause we taking over. Box chefs and lax, souped up 50s and over. This the Bay, homie, where we make that skrill. 20-inch wheels, just a shake and peel. Won't hesitate to bust, cause we taking over. Box chefs and lax, souped up 50s and over.